My name is Francisco Crespin. I'm the Medical Director of First Choice Community Health Care. Been in the Community Health Center arena for about 30 years. Been here at First Choice for 2 years. Well, I was a military medic and got interested in medicine doing that. And I was also inspired by a family doctor of mine when I was a child. My mother worked for him for about 45 years, and I think, having that experience of having a family physician that took care of me for everything, delivered me, took out my appendix, took care of my brothers and sisters. I think that kind of was in the back of my mind, and one of the reasons that I thought primary care would be a good place to work. I was a National Health Service Corps doc when I went to work in southern New Mexico and worked in a rural area. That clinic served a lot of migrant farm workers. In Albuquerque, I think the families that we see are families that have been here for a long time, but then there's also some new immigrants. But again, a lot of what we deal with is difficulties with access to care. In rural areas, it may be just being able to get to a clinic because of distances. In Albuquerque, the problem with access may be more related to difficulty in getting into the facilities that are here. Lack of insurance, or just cultural differences that kind of impede being able to get those services. What I enjoy is the fact that I'm making a difference. I feel like the people that we serve have challenges as far as getting health care. A lot of other challenges as well, with just day-to-day living, shelter, food, those sorts of things. But it just I believe in the mission of what a community health center does, and that's being able to provide medical, behavioral health, dental care to individuals regardless of their ability to pay. So that's what I find the most gratifying is being able to do that, not having to think about whether a person has health insurance or not. We're going to take care of them regardless. Right. So I think the basic model is that this is an integrated system. We try to look at the whole person. We recognize that not only do people need medical care, but they also need behavioral health. They also need dental care, and we try to be comprehensive in what we do. We work as a multidisciplinary team, so we have physicians, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, nurses, MAs, who all can work as a team. And not only that, but we really take into consideration what's going on in our communities. That's why we're called a community health center. We look at what's the need is of that community and try to address it in the best way that we can. If we're not able to, we try to partner with people, other organizations, to be able to meet the needs of the people that we serve. So, it's unlike other types of primary care where you're just basically providing medical care. We provide comprehensive care, and we work with the people in the community to try and address the needs of that community. Well, I think for somebody that's interested in primary care, I think the biggest plus is being able to develop relationships with your patients. I mean, you're seeing people ongoing over a continuum, from the time that they're kids to the time that they're older adults. You develop relationships with those individuals. Unlike some specialties where you may just see that individual for one particular problem and you may never see them again. Primary care, we take care of families, we take care of kids. And so if you're interested in really, developing those relationships, primary care is, where you want to be. And then in terms of, what we do, again, at this particular site, we have the advantage of being able to work with residents. So for those individuals who like to teach, this is a good place to do that. We try to work with students of different types of professions, PAs, nurse practitioners, medical students, to try and expose them to this type of a medical setting. Hopefully, it will not only spur their interest in primary care, but spur their interest in working in the community health center, being part of that team. Having National Service Corps support your training is a big plus. So, I was a scholar, which basically meant that the National Service Corps paid for my tuition, paid me a stipend while I was going to medical school, and in exchange, I had to work in an underserved area. So I owed the Public Health Service 4 years' time when I came out of medical school. So I got sent down to southern New Mexico to work in a migrant health clinic. At that time, I don't think there were a lot of people who were interested in working in a community health center as a career. I think most of us that were National Health Service Corps providers kind of looked at that as, sort of just paying back time until you finished it up and went into private practice or whatever physicians used to do at that time. But I found that I really liked doing that and discovered that's really what I wanted to do as a career, work in the community health center. So I'm kind of getting off track there.
Right,
so that National Service Corps scholar is basically somebody who gets a scholarship to go to medical school. National Health Service Corps loan repayment is a different way of getting support for your training. It's usually to help pay off loans that you may have accumulated, educational loans while you were going through your training, either medical school, nurse practitioner school, or PA school. Well, I think there are a lot of similarities in terms of being part of an organization that has a mission. The missions between the military and community health centers may be a little bit different, but in both organizations, you're part of a team. You work together. You support each other. You help each other out, and it's not just like one individual doing it all. You're working together. Everybody has to do their part in order to be successful. So I think there's similarities there, and it's just the fact that you're serving a higher purpose in some ways. Yeah, so I think we're positioned well because I think the fact that we are really after quality outcomes really goes along with what we do. There are some settings where the goal is the bottom line and making your margin, but I think community health centers have always really tried to look at how do we improve outcomes, whether they're medical outcomes or in social determinant outcomes. So I think for working in a community health center, we really are always thinking about what are the factors in individuals' life outside the clinic that impact their care. Are they not able to get their medicines because they're having to worry about paying the rent on their house or buy food? Being in a community health center, we're always cognizant of that, and we have individuals that help those individuals to address those needs. So I think, we're well positioned, I think, to do that. It's not going to be a big leap for community health centers to really look at how you get reimbursed based on health indicators and health outcomes. Well, I think, for me, it's the diversity of this state. We have, a large Hispanic population. We have a large Native American population. Definitely living in Albuquerque is, fairly diverse population as well. So I think, that's a big plus. This is a, beautiful state. Depending on what part of the state, you can access mountains. You're into the outdoors, definitely in a big city like Albuquerque, the cultural benefits. So there are a lot of advantages in living in a state like New Mexico. We do see the full spectrum of care in terms of, all the way from peds to the elderly. But, I think it's a very supportive environment. When you come to work here, you're working among a group of colleagues that support you in what you do. So, there's always the opportunity to learn from each other. So I think, we help each other out. You're not by yourself. There's always somebody that you can talk to and learn from. So. And not just, other medical people. Again, we work alongside our behavioral health colleagues, so we have support there, and, working alongside our dental colleagues. So I think it's, this is an environment where you do have a lot of support from other individuals that you work with, and also the people that support us in what we do, from human resources to our billing department, to our front office people. So, it really is a team working together. Yeah, if you want to come work someplace where you'll feel fulfilled in what you do, this is the place to come, because, you'll be not only serving people who really need the care, but you'll be working alongside a great group of people.
Red or green?
Green.